Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Paul here, Northwest Indoor Golf, and today I've got a review coming up with one of last year's most popular irons and its new counterparts, SIM and SIM2. Right, so we've got SIM Max. This is the 2019 model. So cavity back, we've got the cavity you can see in there with the speed bridge. This was a super popular iron last year, designed for ultimate distance and forgiveness. There was the Max OS version, which was maximum forgiveness, and really, I mean, it was like a tennis racket. You couldn't miss the head. Really powerful. So this is a little bit more refined, I guess you would say, in that improver level market. I've got it set up with my own shaft. This is my Rifle 7, which I would use in most anything. I used it in my comparison of 770 versus the P7MC. It does play a little bit longer, about ½ inch longer than those Players level irons. So let's give it a rip, let's get some benchmarks, and then we'll compare it with the new one to see, is it actually any better? Now, it's no secret, while these are set up for that improver level market, distance is a massive key phrase that they're using to sell these. They're strong in the lofts, they are super forgiving, and with the CG really low in the head, really back in the head, you're seeing super high launch combined with fairly low spin, so the distances out of these are probably going to be pretty good. This one was really popular last year and actually ended up selling out in, well, I think it was probably October if I remember correctly. So they definitely sold this one well with the marketing. I mean, this thing just feels so fast. It is quite clicky, which is one of the things that they've made a considered effort to improve in the 2021 version. We're at 130 ball speed with a 7-iron. 128, even a little out the toe. Now, if you watch my video comparing the P7MC and the P770 at 90 miles an hour ball speed, we're still looking at like 126 average on the ball speed. So these are crazy fast. And the spin's really low as well, like 5,000 RPM. Right, let's switch it up. Let's go to the new one. Right, before we screw that fella on here, look at that. So it's still a cavity frame, but you've got this real slick carbon fiber effect insert. Now, when we did some of the information and training on these, they brought a cross section of this insert, and it's got a real strange, almost honeycomb looking finish. And one of the things that they're selling this year in the marketing is this is going to be really forgiving, just the same as the previous one, really fast, but they're going to try and disguise some of that clicky sound, which is probably what was quite off-putting to some people, but at the same time looking to improve to something that's probably a little bit beyond where they were at the time. So if you were looking at maybe a 22 handicap, but really your target's 16, 15, 14, that might have been a little bit off-putting on the previous model SIM, but this one, I mean, looks real nice. And having had a little hit of this, definitely a completely different feel as well. So the messaging this year has been all about feel as well as performance. And you know, we've got brands like Mizuno, which are really good at disguising something that's quite forgiving and giving them a real nice look, real nice feel, but still encouraging the real top performance. So really this is kind of going up against that Mizuno mentality. Let's see how these compare though. So this is the 2021 SIM2 7-iron. Okay, still high launch, still good ball speed, a little bit more spin. I don't know if that's a one-off. Let's put some more out to compare. I tell you what, it does feel tons different. I don't know if the sound coming through the microphone will really give you the full impression, but it feels a lot softer. It's a little bit easier on your eye. That was thin. Still the same ball speed. Still the same spin. I must confess, all of these strikes have been completely different, but the numbers haven't changed. That was heavy off the toe. And it still goes. There's no doubt if you're an improver level golfer, these are going to be really good and you've got to give them a try. So without data, initial impressions, really nice. Do I prefer it to last year's? Yes. Is there a huge performance difference from last year's? I think it's negligible, and I think we're coming to expect that in a lot of the new golf clubs now. Does it look nicer? Absolutely. Does it sound better? For me, it really does, and I think that's something that opens this up to a much broader audience. So am I saying that if you've just bought a set of sim irons, you should rush out and buy the upgrade? Absolutely not. I think if you're using sim irons from last season and you've been fitted, you're probably going to have a really good experience with those. But if your irons are a few years old, if you're thinking back to maybe, I don't know, maybe the M series irons, M5, M6 or before, is there a difference? Well, I really think there is, and you know, there's an opportunity there for you to go out and try these somewhere at a, a fitting centre or at a driving range if you didn't see the last video, and hopefully you'll enjoy them as much as I did. I mean, this isn't targeted towards my level of golf. I should be using something way more forgiving, but I think it's really good, and hopefully that gives you a bit of insight into what you can expect. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, so get subscribed. We've got loads more content coming just like this. We've got all the new products coming very soon and stuff that's already here that we're in the process of testing and reviewing as well. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.